just love that. I mean, I don't even care if he's gonna do well or not, to be honest. As long as you're making noise, you're making things more interesting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Give us something to talk about, give us something to laugh about.
Gives you the storylines.
Yeah.
You get more involved when you have this player that's, you know...
It's really just something esports needs. More people willing to be made a
Exactly.
fool of, right? I wish I could be this sort of person, but unfortunately, I'm a serious analyst, so I
Yeah,
can't have that
definitely.
much fun.
Don't worry, Carl. As these days go on, we'll find a way. We'll make it happen. We'll make it worse and worse. for
We'll
you.
see. It's tough to make a fool
Remember,
out
I
of
was
me.
on your side the first time we did the charity event. Yeah, I bullied T-Garth. You've been bullying Lizard a little bit, so I've left off him. So eventually your time will
That's
come.
only because he used to bully me on the playground. Look at these arms, man. How are you supposed to fight him?
I
just wanna
bullied
play
you
on the
in
jungle
Dota
gym.
as
He
well.
would
I mean, I bullied you all over the place. I don't know what else to do. On the panel as well. Like, I need to stop at some point.
Just wait till we queue into each other later today, Liz.
I'm making this match happen at this point. This has got to happen across these days of events. But when we come into what we're going to see here, right, we saw craziness come out of our last two teams, more on the side of Empire Hope and Omen. Now when we look at this side of things, what are we expecting? More normal?
Well, the OG seed already taking a page out of the OG drafting playbook, which is to open with an unknown, right?
It can go anywhere, yeah.
And Pugna's just such a solid hero. It could be anything from a 1 to a 5.
Look, right
No one
now,
knows.
you picked out Pugna as a position 4 because of the buffs to its ultimate. It's really strong. The cooldown is
The
very
Nether Ward
small.
as well early on.
But exactly, that's where I was going to. The Nether Ward is ridiculous in the laning stage. You pick it, you literally go for this measly little ward that you plant on level 1, and it makes everyone's mana degenerate. And you have like, instead of having 4 mana regen, you have like, what's the minus on the first level? I can't remember, but I know that I'm not getting any mana in the lane if I'm playing with.
And if you use any spells, you take damage. It's a great 1-point wonder, and then later on you can just get an early arcanes, and it's a great example of a hero that's purely XP based. Pugna's items make it easier for him to cast spells, but there is no difference between a 4 and a 1 position Pugna, assuming they both have an Aether Lens. Sure, maybe the one would have a Dagon or something, but the idea is the damage output doesn't change, the utility doesn't change. It's all about the levels.
They do have 2 heroes that are really good against it, though. You have the Ember and the Grimstroke. Grimstroke on its own just causes so many problems for Pugna, be it because of the magical damage that he dishes out, the stuns that are AoE from the Ink Spell, or the Phantom's Embrace that just disables you completely.
Carl's laughing away.
I just can't believe I'm wearing a bow tie, man. I really.
That's what we got to. What's worse for me is that we have kind of looked like we're trying to do something on par, and they've just put you as the preppy schoolboy on your own.
I would say more of the serious, I don't know. I feel like I'm a member of the Illuminati, honestly, in this outfit, but...
I like where you're going with it, right? But
I see him as a
he looks
cute
younger than both of us.
schoolboy,
You look like a preppy schoolboy. That's what's
the schoolboy, that's pretty much it.
I knew I should have. We
Rich
got haircuts
schoolboy.
today, and I had him shave almost everything.
Yep,
I should have
there you
kept
go.
it. God damn it.
You've gone really young now, right? You've gone back to school
Dude,
days.
it's the only reason I don't get rid of everything, because I straight up look like I'm 18 again. It's insane.
Got to keep the beard. It's got to stay.
Yeah.
It's
It's
your
in
lifeline.
nowadays. It's also, it's getting a little, it's still chilly at night, it helps keep the warmth in your face. On the draft, the Dragon Knight Pugna synergy is really nice because you have this point-and-click stun, but more importantly, you just hit towers, and you can mow down these structures. DK, really nice against the Ember Spirit because you actually have that point-and-click stun. It just makes sense conceptually, and I think that they're going to look to push the pace here.
And you know what? I have a feeling that as the meta has shifted towards these heroes that just push, right, such as Dragon Knight and Pugna, that's one of the reasons, not only because he's strong, that's one of the reasons why Bristleback is back in the game as well, because it's this meat wall, meat shield that stands in front, doesn't really care about Pugna or Dragon Knight, and just defends. Something similar to what Timber was doing, but Timber is just banned every single match.
It's a really, really nice clock pick. Good synergy with the Grimstroke early on. You get Ink Swelled and just run forwards. In addition, neither Pugna nor DK have a method of escaping the cogs. Pugna's very low HP. You just look to hook him every single team fight and shut down the save.
Get rid of him nice and early on then. So in terms of how it's looking so far, we're giving a slight edge to Chicken Fighters in this from what you're saying?
They definitely have the playmaking ability at this point. OG Seed are more gearing up for their team fights, but it's going to be tough for them to survive the lanes if they don't draft something that can help them stabilize.
What would you be looking to pick if you were them right now?
Could you get something like an Oracle to deal with?
Oracle's banned out.
It's banned out,
Yeah.
Okay, they go with...
That's Oh,
you know
this
what?
is tough.
It reminds me completely of the Ajak hero in our first series because it's really a good hero, gives you a lot, right? It's great when you're pushing as well because you can catch targets, but it's very immobile, very slow. You're playing into Clock, into Ember, into Grimstroke.
Don't have answers to really the Clock or the Ember. They're going to just dive on top of you, right? But you also need a bat answer now as well, and you don't have that either. So I could see something like a Lifestealer or a Jug. I think you need something that doesn't fear Clock or Bat in the laning phase that can somewhat self-sustain. They go Beastmaster instead. All right, I surprisingly consider this hero a Bat counter because Bat requires a vision advantage to succeed. Beastmaster also will provide a ton of up-tempo. They can push structures before the Bat comes online, especially if he goes for that rushed bots build. You've got a DK and a Pugna. You could theoretically take 3 tier 1s by 10 minutes. But the lanes.
Their pushing is really strong. Their pushing is really strong if they manage to get there through the lanes, right?
Yes.
And even if they do, chicken fighters are extremely strong in those mid-fight engagements, 10 to 20-minute mark. They will be very difficult to deal with. And your call was right. Juggernaut is banned out, so it's one of the heroes that's really good versus Batrider. Besides that, you have something like Slark, something like Lifestealer still in the pool. That's possible.
You could Slark. I actually don't mind that, but it depends on what chicken fighters end with. But in a free Slark game, I love it as a last pick because then it's very easy for OG Seed. You can afford now to stall the game out, shove side lanes, and disrupt your Slark. Inevitably, you're going to find your pickoffs.
Chicken fighters are also Meepo pickers, so this game right now looks very
good Meepo game.
You could pick it easily.
I wouldn't mind that at all because it looks like chicken fighters. The only issue I have with the Bat and Clock, one of them's gonna have to be 3 here, and they feel like supports no matter what role they're truly in. So you need some sort of sustained damage output. You've got Ember who's like a primary playmaker, but you need this centerpiece of your draft that will take the Aegis, that will kill the towers, and play around all the vision and kill potential your 3-4-5 are going to give you. So Meepo, it does make sense. Maybe even a Husk.
You need your true win condition. Then again, something very similar happened yesterday when Meepo banned out and they picked the all right. Void is also pretty good versus Bat in the lane. Overall, they do have things. They have chains. You have the Phantom's Embrace as well. They don't have any saves versus Lasso. But they needed something like Meepo, man. Yeah.
The problem I have, I wouldn't be surprised. I would love a Bat mid here. I think Bat against DK is just a great matchup for the Bat, and it allows you to influence the game from minute 0. You put him against the Void with the Clockwork, it's kind of playing in the OGC hands where, your Disruptor might die a couple times, but Void's going to have a free game. Eventually you get Chrono, and no one can really challenge him anymore.
My only problem is if you put this Batrider mid, what are you sending offlane? Grimstroke Ember? Because you need a win condition still. And
that's a good point.
You know, like it kind of changes the dynamic of the team. However, in the game 5 of VP versus OG went for an Enigma with an Ember, and then you have this mass units that are constantly pushing. You don't necessarily need one hero that's going to take objectives.
Yeah, you do. You need something to kill towers to that point. It may be something like a Lone Druid. I don't like it here, but you don't really have too many options. OG Seed's lineup, it's very reminiscent of OG.
They're going to go for some illusion heroes, some Nagas, Terrorblades, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. If it is
it's a pretty sick Naga game. I like Naga a lot, actually.
So it seems like we're right in the middle right now. It's going to come down to this final choice to be made.
It's just...
there we go.
It makes sense. It's your typical Void counter, right? You can Song if someone else is chronoed. You have the net for a ton of lockdown, and it's really good against the Beastmaster in lane because you just send illusions at the boar, gives you even more farm. The thing is, there's no tower push on chicken fighters. So the impetus is on OGC to get map control, to have a strong laning phase, and then just dominate the map in the mid game.
And they should be able to, right? If their laning stage goes all right, it doesn't have to be exceptionally good, just all right, they can start pushing. You have DK on one side, Pugna on the other, Beastmaster as well.
I'd like to see them still put the Bat mid though. Let Ember be an offlaner here. Saberlight will have no problem with that. And ensure that the Bat has a sick game to buy space for Naga. You need to get that second, third item. The Manta Diffusal timing is where chicken fighters start to gain momentum. When he gets that third item, whether it's Heart, Butterfly, Scotty, doesn't matter. That's when things will start to turn in their favor. But I think if OG Seed plays like their parents, they should be able to take this game.
So you already said, right, it's out of the OG style of playbook, so Seed have now got to try and do it themselves, use it as their advantage. But what is the problems they might run into here?
If the Grimstroke and Clock are the two supports, they're exceptionally strong early on. Also, two heroes that don't really need a lot early on, just a couple of levels. You can instantly initiate on that. Pugna blow him up. Ember is really strong too, so...
You have to be ahead, because if you're not ahead, your supports are Disruptor Pugna. They're going to feed. So you need your cores powerful enough that they can actually say, no, we're ready to fight. Please come at us. And if you don't get that, you're going to lose your two supports in every engagement.
So which way are we going then? Because at the beginning I was all like, oh, Carl's just going to be OG the whole way, the full bias with it. Is this doable, or where's your heart lying?
I'd say OG Seed at a 30-minute game or less, and Chicken Fighters 30 minutes or more.
I like the caveat we have in there. Lizard, where you going, mate?
I kind of agree with that. Then again, Chicken Fight... I don't know, OG Seed, even if the game goes late game, they do have quite a strong potential around that Chronosphere, right? Like they could go late even versus the Naga, but Naga won't come online. If Chicken Fighters play their lanes perfectly well, OG Seed cannot just take all the towers early on. If they don't, OG Seed will just run over.
At the end of the day, I've got to back my brother, all right? And because of that, I'm going to say Chicken Fighters are going to win this game.
Well, Syndran and Sun can hear us now, so we should be able to talk back and forth with them. So I want to know if they agree with your little bat hopeful at mid there, Kyle.
I don't think karma works that way, right? You can't just pick the opposite team knowing that you're going to be wrong. Then it counteracts that, doesn't it? At least that's my experience. But
I'm not sure.
So
you're a loser either way, Kyle, no matter who you pick. So don't worry.
This is what we expected from them right before we get into the game. They're definitely just going to come in and abusing Carl the whole way through.
I think they muted us again.
Have they muted us? They don't want to hear us anymore? I know we're on camera.
No, we hear you. We hear you loud.
They do hear
us.
us. There you go, perfect.
Good.
They just wanted to ignore you again,
I like
Carl.
that idea, though. You insult somebody and then you mute them. It's kind of like playing a pub game, actually. Really good.
It's literally pub game experience. That's the master play.
We've created it. We've got 5 of us here now. Right, we're ready to do it. Let's see what happens.
That's good.
Would you pick any of them for your team, though, Carl? No.
No one would pick Syndran for their team. Why do you
Wait,
think he's
To answer your question, though, about the Bat Rider, I'm with Kyle. I think Bat mid in this game would actually be really sick, but it doesn't look like it's what they're going to do. So
It doesn't look what they're going to do. So let's get into the game. Guys, take it away. Thank you very much for the amusing anecdotes.
Syndran, I don't know if you know this, but well, maybe you do actually. We have known each other quite a long time. Z-Freak is one of my favorite players of all time.
I knew that.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the most underrated position 4s of his era. Big fan of him.
I think he's really good too. He's also just a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to let personal
you wouldn't
feelings
think
get
they're
away
brothers,
like Kyle,
right?
but
You wouldn't
that's
think.
true. They're quite different.
They're very
One is
different.
more outspoken.
That's
the other one is
not meant as an insult either, actually, or as a real joke. They're just different.
coming
people.
from you. I'm pretty sure that was an insult.
Well,
Nice
okay,
try.
let's just say it's an insult. It's what people want, right? They want the drama.
True.
Hashtag
Very
fuck Kyle or something. You know, whatever gets them going,
something like
gets
that.
people talking. Yeah. No, Z-Freak is it's definitely a really good player. He's a very very calm presence, I feel. For good or worse, I guess, in a team environment. I've never played with him before, but he just seems like a very, very calm person. And I think when you're playing in a team, you might want to have, you know, a good mix of calm people and very vocal people. And that's, I think, why they played very well together. Kyle and Z-Freak was that Kyle is a very vocal player. So it's a good, like, complement to that. Yeah, they just work well together, I think.
Yep, agreed.
Well, let's quickly go to the Bat Rider story so we can finish off that storyline. The reason it would be interesting mid here is that Bat's only bad matchup in this game in lane is actually Faceless Void, which isn't necessarily really bad, but it's the worst one he has. The other matchups in mid would be awesome. He's super good against Dragon Knight and Beastmaster, or Pugna, whichever one you thought would be put mid here. But they have chosen to put him off lane just, I'm gonna guess because they want the fast levels on Ember, and Bat Rider can always get stuff in the offlane with Clockwork. You can pull waves, you can skip waves, you can do all sorts of shenanigans down here. So he'll be okay. But yeah, either way, it's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be the Clockwork Bat Rider facing up against Disruptor Void. In terms of the actual laning stage for this Void, is he going to be fine in this lane, or is this Bat Rider just going to annoy him to no end?
In my experience with this, it's a pretty volatile lane in the sense that what Void will do is he'll skill time dilation level 3, most likely. And that means whenever you get 2 or 3 stickies on you, when you feel like it's getting scary, you can just pop time dilation and then you're safe. Because Bat can't apply any more stacks to you before the previous one expires. You're going to see him do it right now. This is actually an aggressive play. Let's see if it bears any fruit. Don't think so.
Delicious fruit incoming to get the bash. He's going to jump in anyway. Nope, no bash for him. Dar will get the next bash on the creep, most likely. Nope. Okay, there it is. Finally gets it. Don't you just hate it when you waste that bash on a creep? It feels so bad. But either way, they're still doing quite well in this lane. 14 CS for him at this current point in time. Era has the battery assault available as this position 4 clock. Well, actually, what position is this clock? I guess it is at 4. Not used to seeing Era as position 4. It's going to take some getting used to for sure.
He's been doing a good job though. I think he's especially been standout on Shadow Demon. I'm not sure if it was banned this draft. I didn't see if it was a first phase ban, but some teams have been doing that against Chicken Fighters at least, just respecting that out of Era. He played good Shadow Demon. He's been playing some, I think, Grimstroke mainly as the secondary one. But his repertoire is pretty big. He plays a lot of different heroes. Rubik as well has been one of his go-tos as position 4. Oh, Madara gets the bash.
Might get a kill here. Hexu actually gets the first blood onto the Bat Rider himself. But Madara will be just fine with that as they continue to do quite well in this lane. Top lane, there's going to be some more action with Z-Freak and Zibi. How do you say his name, actually?
I say Ziba.
Zibe?
I don't know.
Zibe? That sounds like you're just not finishing the word that you're saying. Zibe?
It's the glottal stop.
Glottal?
Have you never heard of that?
No.
Okay,
well, I've heard it before. I don't know what it means though. Glottal.
It's something some dialects of English especially do a lot, where they don't say the end of words. Like you stop.
I love learning from you.
You stop it halfway.
Mid lane, Fairy Fire is forward. As Chesty ends up getting the solo kill. That's pretty huge for that.
Huge lead for OG Seed right now. 2k gold minute 5. Chesty has stomped mid. They have a big lead bottom, and I think this is the problem when you put Bat Rider in this lane. I'm not too big of a fan of his Bassi start either. That's a separate issue here. Is he ran out of regen. Like, he just got bullied a lot by Disruptor, and then he didn't have money to buy regen and gets killed as a result. He didn't have a stick. Could have maybe started with some more regen instead of this bit of mono regen from the Basilius. I don't think it was necessary, but they're struggling big time, man. They're so far behind. This is actually really, really bad.
Mark is giant.
It's a big lead to have minute 5.
Bottom lane though, Hexu might be feeding a bit here.
Yeah, he's dead.
Does not have glimpse as of yet, and they're going to clean him up pretty easily.
Big to get the kill on that. He does go for the bottle, so that's where all his gold went. And usually when you go for a bottle like this and don't buy extra regen, Disruptor will get a kill on you on early harass. But that kill will help get him a little bit back up to speed. It's 150 gold, so like 4 CS he gets there. And as a result, Eric can
not only has the mid lane advantage in terms of levels, but 40 CS versus 23, and the denies are 11 versus 1. It's not even remotely close. Holy crap!
Yeah, that's an absolute beatdown. I don't think this lane is this DK favored.
Well, the solo kill definitely made a big difference.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well, looks like some couriers are going to be killed, as some damage will be applied by Chesty and Z-Freak. Of course, it's one thing that they definitely have going for them. Tower pushing is extremely strong with the combination of those two, and not to mention the extra push from the Beastmaster later on, as Bat Rider gets taken on the bot lane, but Beastmaster now in the top lane. So a trade across the board.
Pretty common thing to see when both the position 4s rotate to help mid. The offlaners are left to fend for themselves, and a lot of the time it's kind of a damn it if you do, damn it if you don't thing, where if you play super safe, it's super obvious that the position 4 is rotating away. And if you play aggressive to try to make it a little less obvious, then you put yourself at risk and can get killed, right? So both of them overextended perhaps. Sometimes dying is not bad in this game. Like, sometimes you want to take the death because you forced resources, you come back to lane and have more potential of contesting CS. A lot of the time, it's better to die if you have 100 health than just running in circles for a minute.
Yeah,
right?
I know you have a lot of experience with that firsthand.
Yes, thank you.
So I would definitely take your advice for sure.
It's honestly taken a lot of time in I think the mentality in Pro Dota regarding deaths has changed a lot in the last year, where people are way more willing to take risks or to die for the macro.
You were just ahead of your time, Cinder.
Of course.
You just knew something before everyone else. Seneko, top lane,
this
gets
is a big fight.
getting slowed with the boar. Inkswell is applied before he drops. He's gonna end up stunning Zb, who will end up dropping here most likely. Gets to Krept at the last moment. Oh my god, okay. He lives long enough to get XP for that second kill, but dies shortly after. Cinder, this is a professional Dota caster.
Yes, it was. Until you said his nickname. And then it wasn't anymore. It just stopped there.
Can you just stop it, Cinder? And God, try to take this seriously for once, all right? This tier 1 tower is...
I'm sure Cinder appreciates your seriousness very much.
Well, that's how you said his name. I like to say Zibe, even though it's probably not correct. It just sounds better. Zibe.
It's okay. We'll
like
say
trying to say your name. It's impossible.
Yeah, it is.
That right ends up dying very deep in the bot lane.
Yeah. Same again. Like he has to play aggressive to try to get these CS. He does get, I think, was that 3-man rotation? I believe Pugna showed up as well, so it's okay. Like, you force a lot of rotation. Madara lost CS in the tower just to get a level 5 Bat Rider kill. That's a nil-sum kill, basically. It doesn't really matter very much.
Madara level 7 on the Void, working towards a Maelstrom as his first item. Chessie did not go Soul Ring this game. Has the single Bracer right now. He's going to get ganked in the mid lane. Inkswell will connect. Disruptors here for some support. TP's going to get instantly canceled by the Searing Chains, and Chessie has absolutely nowhere to go, but he's extremely tanky. Barely dies at the doorstep of his tier 1. Took a lot of resources, but they finally got him. Ooh, Iron Talon on Charlie on the Naga Scion. That's going to be pretty helpful here.
Yeah, he's gonna need to ramp up the farm pretty quickly. With how the rest of the map is going, he has a lot of work ahead of him.
Bat Rider destroyed thanks to that first use of the Primal Roar. And now Era stuck inside his own cogs, and Beastmaster taking the brunt of the damage right now, attempting to walk this off, but will finally go down as Era somehow lives through the day.
A bit of missed micro there.
Takes out Grimstroke, Madara with a nice time dilation, and they're going to end up getting 2 kills right off that bat. So it's a 3-for-1 across the board, and a tier 1 tower for OG Seed.
Yeah, they're going to keep ramping up the pace here. It's almost a 4K gold lead now, minute 10. And when you have this kind of a lead against a Naga Siren lineup, you should feel really good about it. They obviously don't know what the exact economy is, but they should have a pretty good feeling about the game. All of their cores are happy. That's generally a really good sign. And the other team has a Naga who won't help fighting for quite a while. All Charlie can really do is split push and try to find farm and delay the game. His hero doesn't have any fighting prowess for a while, so you have so many opportunities as OG Seed right now to really put pressure. Charlie with an unspent skill point might have to skill Song here.
Yeah, well, they do outnumber them though, and we'll see if they end up continuing with this pressure. Peksu at half HP. Zibit stuck inside the Disruptor ult right now, as Pugna will be the first to fall. And looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Chicken Fighters for the moment. Chessie popped his Dragon form, and there's the Song skilled. End up wasting that
Bat
Dragon
doesn't have
form
TP,
overall.
he's in trouble actually. If he
Bat
gets in
Rider.
glimpse range here... Oh, they're baiting him. I like this.
Oh, they might actually go on top of Peksu on with that Flame Break, dealing a little bit of damage. It's only level 1 right now, but they do find it nonetheless.
Nice bait.
And no glimpse to worry about if you kill him.
So they stood just outside of the vision range of the outpost, in the fog right above it, and Peksu chased up, trying to give information to Dragon Knight. Got killed, and they both got away with their Firefly and Remnant, respectively. So that was a nice little play from Chicken Fighters there. And Naga actually got involved, which is kind of unusual for Charlie when he's playing this hero, but they did manage to find some strength out of his hero in this tower dive bot, so very nicely done.
And Chessie and company take out the tier 1 mid. Looks like he's going to be going Blink Dagger. He gets hook shot and looks to be more than dead. They're going to use the first lasso onto him. And it's going to be a 4-man gank, essentially. What do you think of Blink Dagger, first item? Does that surprise you at all?
Yeah, a bit. I get that they want to play aggressive because there's a Naga Siren in the enemy team and they're feeling the momentum here, but at the same time, you could also transfer this lead into becoming almost invincible and just knocking down towers, right? You have Beastmaster, Dragon Knight, Pugna. What's the enemy team going to do to you if you show up there with, say, a pipe or really good stats, or auras, like whatever it is for your team? Try to become a carry. Like, there's plenty of options here. I don't know if Dagger was necessary. You have a Beastmaster to catch. You have Glimpse. Maybe that's why he wants it, so he can give vision for Glimpse every time they get ahead in a fight. I mean, that's fair. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. It doesn't float my boat right now. To rush Dagger
right now, he's going towards this mech, and of course he's an aura boy himself. Do people pick up Maelstrom anymore on DK?
Not very often, I think.
It's mostly auras and just tanking it up.
Yeah, I mean, in a game like this, you could have tried to rush Radiance. When your game is this good and you're playing against Naga, I wouldn't be too mad at that. Like, your team is ahead, you can put pressure. Then you could get the
how do you
Radiance
look at this game if, let's say, it goes late game, which obviously they don't want it to get to that point. Void's obviously an extremely good late game, but you don't really have any heroes that deal with Naga that well. Bottom lane, hook shot, Z-Freak looks to be mega dead. Like, is there any itemization that you want to go towards, knowing that you're facing against a Naga? You talked about Radiance, which obviously is good in its own right against illusion heroes.
It's mainly Void who has to do it. He's got Maelstrom for now. You want Mjolnir, at least one. Probably want an AC. Maybe Shiva. Okay.
Era gets Glimpse, but the Searing Chains is there. Beastmaster faking out his roar from the remnants. Oh, Static Storm, nice thought, but not going to catch anybody. As Supreme will get back to safety. Not sure if they're going to find anything. Madara does have Chronosphere, of course, but there's the Chessie Blink Dagger coming into effect. Gets the stun of Suneko. Madara,
nice.
Ooh, a beautiful blink timing as
really
well.
Sexy,
Looks like they'll find the Ember Spirit if they can layer this correctly. Not even needed, just enough damage outright. Into a tier 1. So again, things going quite well for OG Seed as they, in terms of the buildings, they are definitely winning this game.
Yep.
And net worth, which goes hand in hand. But can they continue the pressure? Like, at what point
now that both
is this
Dragon
be...
Form and Chrono are on cooldown, there's a bit of breathing room now for Chicken Fighters to take some initiative of their own if they want, or just keep farming, chilling. Era getting forced away. Might re-engage here onto the Pugna. It is a really good matchup for Clockwork, but probably... Oh, missed the hook. Z-Freak very fast, just sidestepping. Glimpsing him away. They really want to get out of here.
Yeah, they're not interested in fighting, it looks like. Roar is available if needed. Void's actually going to mess up his time walk just a little bit, but there's the Roar on top of the Ember Spirit. Z-Freak sucking him away into the Centaur Stomp, dealing a decent amount of damage, but the Soulbind is there, and now Void in the wrong place at the wrong time. Beastmaster trying to give him as much support as possible, but the lasso is going to ensure the double kill for Era of all heroes. Used to playing that position 1. Needs them kills on the Clockwork, apparently. Zibi gonna find Era thanks to Peksu's Glimpse. So ends up being a 2-for-1.
Yeah, it's pretty good from Chicken Fighters. Immediately taking advantage of the cooldowns, right? Start running them down. Batrider and Clockwork, awesome heroes when the enemy team has a couple of cooldowns. Then they just feel almost invincible. Like, you could do so much as Batrider in this game when you've accounted for Chrono and Dragon Form. Only thing you really need to worry about is Roar, or getting caught in kinetic static, which, if you're not already stunned or slowed, it's pretty easy to play around your very high move speed when you use Firefly. So, yeah, good stuff from them. Chasing them down a bit. Charlie doing Charlie things. He's going to have a Manta coming up. Finally top net worth now on that Naga Siren. It's taken a while. It's good, but if you're OG Seed, you're still not too worried about this. You have your next Chrono coming up. You have the potential of taking Roche with Beastmaster Aura plus Dom Creep. If you force a fight there, you're pretty likely to win it. You just need to play around the Naga Siren ulti. Or you could try to push more towers to take more ground.
They're going for a double BKB. And it looks like they're going to end up getting them around the same time for the Void and DK. So expect them to get ultra aggressive at that point, to the point of maybe even getting racks. At least that's the plan for OG Seed. I mean, it's pretty transparent, right? You just don't want to go late game as much as you can avoid it. Of course, if you get like at what point, is there any point where you have like double racks or something like that and you're not too worried about finishing super fast, or is it just always in the back of your mind that there's a Naga that you can't really deal with?
I don't necessarily think OG Seed has the worst super late game. I think
Really?
Faceless Void, Beastmaster, and Dragon Knight all scale really well into late game. Beastmaster's a criminally underrated late game hero.
They missed the hook shot onto Madara. He's going to get the Chronosphere with the TP support from Chessie, who pops his DK form. Batrider is the first to die. And now it looks like Chicken Fighters are on the retreat with that Song of Siren. Charlie will get out of town. Can they find anything else, though? DK used the Blink Dagger already. Seneko is going to be found by Z-Freak. Decrepify into the Leech. And actually, even with the Glimpse in range, gotta love it, man. That's good stuff. We end up finding 2 kills when...
It's how I imagine you would do it. If you're drinking a soda through a straw and somebody comes and like smacks you, you're like turn the soda would like fling to the side, but you would keep drinking it. That's actually
how does that enter your mind at any point?
I don't know. You're like the worst influence in my life right now. You're also the only influence because I'm not really seeing people. So
yeah, that's true.
It's you or my dog, and you're like close first place.
Wow, close. Thank you, Cinder.
Just kidding. He's a really good dog.
Surprised he said.
You're not a very good human, so.
Dog should come up first for sure. You think I put my cats behind you? They're ahead of you by a mile. Not even
in terms of how good of an influence they are?
Yes.
I mean, they don't do anything.
I love them as well. What are you talking about? Cats are the best. Just them existing is doing something.
I mean, I guess your ideal of living is doing nothing. So
that's true.
Example. So they're like, that's your spirit animal. You're actually a cat. I just realized. I never thought about that.
I took the Harry Potter test, and I was a cat, actually.
You do nothing all day except licking yourself. You're just there, no? Oh, Arrow's in trouble.
That's the manner of speaking, yeah. The Beastmaster roar into the Leech. Z-Freak and company end up netting that kill. Oh, a glimpse.
Oh, nice.
Does connect into the Dragon Tail. Okay.
Good timing on the Fire Remnant. For some reason, that wasn't really animated there. I didn't see him fly back. That looked a bit weird, but yeah, he remnanted away with good timing. So
it's a feature that they implemented years ago. It's fine.
I feel like usually it looks a bit different.
Seneko? What the hell?
I'm not sure what the plan is. I mean, he did push out the wave, so he's delaying the top tower push for a kill. Is that worth it? It's actually not as bad as it looks. Like, he delayed the push by 30 seconds by killing the wave. In the meantime, his team's getting 2 bounty runes bottom, knocking on bot tier 2. It's not all that bad. It's okay. If you could have got away without dying, it would have been awesome, obviously. But
I'll trust you on this one, Syndran. You are the master.
Okay. Still, OG Seed are ramping up, and I think it's just a matter of time before they look to Roche. I think maybe they want to get this top tier 2 first, group up. All their cooldowns are ready once again. In 10 seconds, Beast Test Roar. It's the last one missing. And then you could look to get that Roshan.
BKB is being delivered. Madara for his Void is only 400 away. Finishing the Ogre Axe component. I believe his recipe is done. Yeah, I think they're just going to wait for this. And maybe even Roche in the meantime with all this map control. Charlie does pick up the defusal, so this is when he starts to be quite annoying as a hero. I'm surprised you think that the late game is just as good for OG Seed. I just have bad memories of fighting against heroes like Naga and PL.
Right,
honestly.
And I think a lot of people's pictures of the game are painted based on memories from like 1 to 2 years ago, because there's a lot of heroes that you don't play against very much, especially if you're playing Valorant. You don't play against Naga very much in Valorant.
I'm sure there's going to be a Naga equivalent at some point.
A lot of people still are stuck in this archaic mindset that certain heroes are just unbeatable late game, like 6-slotted Naga can't be beaten, or Void loses to nothing, or something like that. But with talents, with level 30s, with neutral items, the balance has shifted so much that tons of heroes are actually really potent when it comes to late game. Dragon Knight does a lot to Naga late game when both heroes are jacked on items. He can do tons of work.
They got the stuns. Look at this layering. Centaur next. Do they have enough damage? Static Storm on top. That is going to be a kill. Beautifully done. It's Ember Spirit now. Wrong place, wrong time. Potentially BKB popped by DK. But there's the lasso to keep him in tow. That's a double lasso, in fact. It's going to be a 1-for-1 to start as Beastmaster getting very low. Finally goes down to the Grimstroke. And Chessie might have to finish off Seneko instead of going for a juicier kill. But Era did die in that engagement as well. So this is going to be majorly in favor of OG Seed.
Decent. I mean, considering Naga died first there, it's a pretty good... It's good of them to respond when they realize so many cooldowns are used, right? Static Storm gets used on the Naga kill. They use their positional advantage. They, you know, really run in to get that kill, so they're exposed. And for Chicken Fighters to trade evenly after that, I don't think was that bad.
Can he get the solo kill? Solo chrono? With the Invis rune here?
Yes. If he gets one or two bashes, he's getting
Z-Freak is here. And there's a chrono.
Bit early.
Can Z-Freak get there in time?
Oh! Bash. Oh,
very
just
nicely timed bash. And the damage from Netherward. Z-Freak assisted.
Wait, he cast Flame Guard on Ember. I was like, how did he take damage from Netherward without jumping? He might have lived if he didn't press Flame Guard. I don't know why he pressed that.
Well, he didn't probably see that Z-Freak was there.
I mean, I guess so, but yeah, it does block a bit of bash damage if you don't see... I don't know. I feel like that was just a misstep. Anyway, that is going to lead to the rush. Very nicely done here from OGC.
Oh, the hook shot! Era takes the Aegis, the Song of Siren just in time. Wow. That was pretty fucking sick, not gonna lie. Charlie now on the run, Soulbind onto 2. The double lasso again. That's gonna be an easy kill onto Z-Freak and putting Chessie in a horrendous position in the corner of the map. Does have his BKB activated now, and they're gonna find Charlie most likely. He's in Viz for now, but there's the dust into the stun, and they finally get the kill. It's a 2-for-1, but the Aegis again going in the favor of Chicken Fighters. See how aggressive they want to continue to be. Zibby stuck inside the cogs with Chessie. Era dies, but of course that is just the Aegis that he stole. Madara pops his BKB. That's the 10-second duration. It's a 1v4. He's going to attempt to TP out and should be successful. My goodness, that fight was sick.
That was a really nicely comboed hook shot into Song of the Siren Steel on the Aegis. They do have to expend that Aegis, but just getting it out of the hands of Madara here. And probably getting a mid-tier 1 tower to boot here, as well as a good fight there from Chicken Fighters. Very nice. Well, maybe not.
I heard a hook shot. Dara at half HP right now. He's going to jump in and get the easy kill onto Grimstroke.
Dude, Bash is actually really good when it procs every hit.
Yeah, it's not a bad spell at all. Era taking a lot of damage, stuck inside that kinetic field. And they're going to be able to find that kill as well. So with couple kills here for OGC, maybe a little bit too confident for Chicken Fighters. Now they can probably push this tier 2, honestly. We're talking about their push potential. They don't even need the DK necessarily. That is a long cooldown, of course, but Pugna, pretty strong hero, I have to say.
Was he just life draining a siege creep for like an eternity, and then he got the last hit with it against the creep? It does like no damage to siege creeps. Yeah, this is another nice side benefit. I don't know if Chicken Fighters thought about this much when they picked the Naga Siren, but since the change to Pugna, where life drain is a low cooldown, even without eggs, before it was 0, it still is with Scepter, but now that it's 7 without it, you have a reliable way of cleaning Naga illusions up. Think of, it's actually a pretty accurate way of thinking about playing against Naga. Think of it as pollution on the map. It's just people are littering and somebody needs to go and clean it up all the time. And if you don't clean it up, eventually your village will end. Your village will die from disease. So somebody needs to be garbage man. And Pugna is a really good garbage man actually against Naga. Much better than it used to be without Axe. So it's really nice to have a hero in your lineup that can just go and gradually clean it up. It really is, shouldn't be understated how useful it is in this game. For now, though, they're going to go and press the advantage.
Now we know global warming is caused by Naga Siren players. I guess I'm not too surprised. And the catapult gets destroyed right off the bat. Half HP onto Chessie right now.
They're going to have to back off. They're being pressured way too much. Yep, need garbage man bottom. He probably should have. I feel like OG Seed overestimated how much they could get away with here. Oh, this is big
Void.
Kill.
Can they actually get him, though? BKB is there into the Chronosphere. He's going to go for the Bat Rider first as TP support is on the way. Static Storm Kinetic Field now onto Naga with the Beastmaster Roar is more than enough. A double kill or Madara, who has that Mjolnir BKB combo.
How did they think they could kill Void without Mirror Image or Manta Style? I thought that was a great lasso if Naga was ready, but they didn't. That was just really miscommunicated. Like, if they have everything ready, that is an awesome play. If they don't, it's terrible. Now they both died for nothing. And just when I was about to say OGC should have gone back earlier and not let them get that much on the tower, this way they somehow end up getting 2 kills that they kind of shouldn't have got, I think, in any way. But good reactions.
I'm sure they'll get a repair kit. Everything will be fine.
Punishing the overextension from Chicken Boys.
Chicken Boys. What if they got sponsored by KFC or...
I don't think KFC think it's a good look to sponsor chicken fighters. It kind of sounds like cockfighting, and I don't think they want to associate with that.
That's a stupid reason. Nobody's going to think that because their name won't be Chicken Fighters anymore. It'll be KFC, obviously.
So then the press release will sound like they saved these poor chickens from fighting so that they could go into food instead. Awesome.
Anything is possible with the right
really
PR.
Great.
Madara, level 21 right now. Initiation from Saberlight, not going to be there, but the Soulbind onto 2. BKB pop from the Dragon Knight. Disruptor getting extremely low. Can he get off his spells or not? He's still silenced. The Bat Rider is lost in this fight. Z-Freak will be next. So it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Chicken Fighters. Madara comes in. No Chronosphere. As the BKB pops and the song has 0 effect and will take him out in quick succession along with the DK. So a triple kill for Madara. All they lost were their 2 supports.
Sometimes you just bash and then you bash again and then you bash. I mean, that wasn't really luck.
You know, there's a way to ensure bashes as well as to get Aghanim Scepter Syndrome.
True.
Will that be on the table for him? If they get Roshan 2 more times.
It's a possibility. Maybe. It's good against Naga, right? I would say. Pretty solid.
Bashes all the illusions. Sineko's dead, by the way. But, you know.
That was a huge moment for OGC. They got so much out of this. And that was without Chrono. The reason Chicken Fighters were so eager to fight here was that they knew Chrono was down. But again, Charlie's Naga is just not getting to fight the way he wants. They really get on top of him every fight, clean him out. The one thing you don't want to do in fights against Naga most of the time is to just let Naga have 10 free seconds while you're focusing other heroes. Most of the time, kiting Naga when she has Diffusal Manta is hard. Oh, Lasso coming in.
Lasso into hook shot. Madara pops the BKB into the Chronosphere, and now he's going to go ham onto Saberlight. He is donezo. Will Madara stay any longer? Well, with the support of Z-Freak and Zibby on the backline, why not? Looks like Supreme will get out of dodge with just a little bit of HP intact. I mean, speaking of which, by the way, the Ember Spirit, obviously Spirit Vessel is pretty normal, but having to go for a Linken's, that has to not feel good. Am I right? I mean, you pretty much have to get it with the stuns from both Beastmaster and DK, which we've seen used many a time.
Could by BKB.
In terms of layering.
I think.
Yeah, true. Could go BKB instead.
I think it's better this game, because that way you counter Static Storm too. That's one item that counters everything except Chrono. If you get Void and BKB, I mean, you can technically die here, but...
Soulbind onto just Chessie for now. He's at half health, pops the BKB. See if they go any further here. Static Storm applied to Naga, and that is a dead Naga Siren. Again, 60 seconds. Does have buyback. They will probably give up this Rax. Nope, they're gonna buy back onto the Naga Siren. There's a hook shot from Era, who's actually stuck in the middle of the entirety of the enemy team, will die very quickly after. Charlie has Song of the Siren available. Will he use it here? Yule's onto Bat Rider to try to survive a little bit longer. There's the Song to save his supports. I don't think they can aggress here at all, though.
Fight.
This might still be a Rax nonetheless. There's a stun onto Charlie. Into the Roar. And this is going to be GG most likely. That's a dieback with a Radiance being created now for Chessie as they just...
So he does go Radiance.
We'll go for the Ancient. Oh, Lasso. A lot of damage onto the DK. They can actually... Oh, nice save from Z-Freak. Not enough, though. 80 seconds on the deck, so maybe a little bit too aggressive here from OG Seed. Can't go for the win outright, at least. Hook shot into the Dust of Appearance. Madara jumps in.
Yeah, Satanic.
Trying to find something else. Soulbind onto 2 now. It's not like they have an Aegis to work with. BKB is still there for Void. Pops the Satanic, but didn't really... Actually does get at the back end there. As this fight continues somehow, knowing that Naga Siren is not alive for an eternity.
Oh, no double bash.
These bashes are insane, man. you serious? Oh my god! What is this?
Get out of here.
Just call it, please, God. If you get that many bashes, the game is just ends. Gaben and short it. Well, one tier 4 is down. Do they continue? Looks like they will not. Despite Madara being basically unkillable right now. And that is now an 18k net worth lead.
He is so far on Void. It's insane. He's almost level 25 as well, so... Think about how tanky he just was. You give him the backtrack talent as well. There's like actually no way this Void is gonna die except if they pile on him like 4-on-1 or something like that. Because there's no single target burst on the Dire to speak of, except if Naga has all illusions running, they isolate him with Lasso into a hookshot or something like that. Because even the Chains or Grimstroke spells he can BKB off. Yeah. Tough times. OGC have been owning this game. They've been just outplaying them across the map, mainly by fight selection, I would say. They've just been good at taking initiative and getting ahead. And as soon as they're ahead in a fight, Disruptor is just a godlike hero to have, getting all those extras every time.
Madara is going to attempt to solo Roche. They want to make sure this Naga Siren. Yeah,
it's not going to happen
hookshot
this time,
into
though.
Song combo. So it looks like Aegis and Cheese will go the way of OG Seed. Chesty will take the Cheese most likely. And now both of them are virtually unkillable. Spirit Vessel works against Cheese, right?
Yes. It does.
Spirit Vessel needs a nerf, I think. I think that item is way too good.
It's funny how a month ago it was not bought by anyone almost.
Really?
Yeah, you only specifically bought it to counter very hard counterable heroes with it, like Morphling and Void. Morphling and Alchemist, or these classic regen super.
Would you pick it up against DK with his passive back then?
Not very often, I feel like. I mean, you could, but I don't know. It's kind of just had a resurgence lately. It wasn't near
a resurgence with a Z. I like
resurgence.
Well, Madara with that Aegis, not too scared, as the fortification is now popped and now gone. And the Ancient has been exposed. Madara jumps in, has Chronosphere, wants to wait for a better opportunity. Soulblind is used and will be connected to Jesse as he blinks into it, but the Bat Rider's dead, so no double lasso for you, not this time around at least. Suneko going to be applied a lot of pressure from that DK. Era dies on the back end. Looks like the Naga is just trying to bring that wave to him, as they're just going to call it GG. This was not even remotely close. So OGC takes game 1 of this best of 3 in very convincing fashion.
They were clearly better this game, except I want to say 2 fights that Chicken Fighters took that went